What's up? I'm Bokoven. So, over the past months, this beat right here has been doing pretty well on my channel. It's called Paint the Sky, and it's a beat that is pretty close at heart to me. It's one of my favorites. You guys have showed a lot of love, like insane amounts of love. Like it's surprisingly how much people like this beat, and I really appreciate that. And a lot of people have been asking me to make a little tutorial or to go through on just how I made the beat. It's all made from scratch. There's a couple of small like ambient samples and whatnot, but other than that, it's completely 100% originally composed by me, Bokoven. So normally I don't really do tutorials, but I thought this would be a fun thing to try out. If you guys want to see more of it, I'll definitely do more of it, because it is fun showing off and sharing musical ideas in depth for people who are interested, like me. I used to watch a lot of this content myself, and so I think it would be cool to just check out and see if you guys would like it. So let's just jump right into the project. Okay, so this is the project. As you can see, we have a lot of different patterns. This project isn't really complicated, as in that it uses a lot of sounds. I wanted to have that band feel, you know, kind of live band feel, where there's a lot of different things happening, but they're mostly all using the same instruments or a limited amount of instruments, so it's not too overwhelming, but you know, to kind of have a bigger spectrum of creativity within a small amount of instruments. Now I don't have all the sounds here. I don't know what's missing here. It's like a glitched texture that I used here or something like that. And the bass that I've been using here also I deleted because it's kind of bad. But I'll just substitute these things in with the stems of the original composition, so you'll still have the feel of the track. So I'll just get that quickly. Okay, so here I loaded just in the stems for these missing things here. This is the texture that's missing right here. I don't know where this is from. It's probably from some sort of old drum kit I have when I used to make trap beats, so it's probably from that. But we can start with the meat and bones, which is just simply this little texture loop right here, which you hear throughout a good portion of the song. I really like these texture things where they're not really clear where they're going. They're just a start of something creatively. I think if you're stuck on something, which I was when I was making this beat, I wasn't really clear on what I wanted to make, but I wanted to make something like psychedelic and weird and kind of Tame Impala-ish. And so when finding this texture loop, I was like, okay, that's it's very ambient, it doesn't really say a lot, and you can put a lot of chords around it. And I think the original starting point was putting down just this stage 73, which is an Arturia plugin. I absolutely love this. It's an electric piano. Such an amazing sound on it. I played like a fucking idiot there, but I just laid down these basic chords right here. I can play it in pattern. This is what I started with, just this, around that texture. It's really simple. And on that, I of course added this guitar, which a lot of people come to love. Yeah, this is not a real acoustic guitar. This is actually from a sampled session guitarist Strum acoustic, which is, I don't usually use these because they sound so, I don't know, they sound real, but any, I don't know, for me it doesn't feel real. You know, it sounds real, but it doesn't feel like it. It's kind of mechanical in that the sound quality is amazing, which is why you can kind of use it, because you can mask it and hide away the fact that it's not really real. So here it worked. Like, I fucking love the way it sounds here, but usually I think this sounds way too corny. But honestly, this guitar like kind of makes the track for me. So this guitar is just playing the same chords as the Rhodes piano throughout the entire track. The same goes for these later patterns and stuff like that. So critical part of the beat right there, the guitar, to get that kind of feel. Here you also have the bass pattern, which you can't hear, which is also from a Contact VST, the prime bass or whatever it is. I don't usually use this anymore because I think it sounds a bit too, I don't know, a bit too wide. I like a bit thinner or more monocentric basses that I can kind of play around with and make stereo if I want to through effects. Now talking about effects, I completely forgot about that. We can go to the, this is going to be fucking messy because I don't know how to do this, alright? So just bear with me here. On the bass, we just had some simple decapitator, which is a distortion plugin. We have a little bit of drive here. I haven't even played around with the wetness of this. As I don't know, it's kind of funny. I haven't, a lot of these beats, I really just don't go back and change things. If a choice is made, it's fucking made. Like, I won't go back and change it. Like, if that is one of the kind of stepping stones of this beat, I won't go and change that around. Like, it's kind of a thing I do. Like, it's not normal that I go back and, oh, I need to turn down a little bit on that and stuff like that. I don't usually do that because I just go with the creative flow of the beat. And when it's done, I feel like kind of, yeah, I don't want to touch it or change it too much because I can get so lost in the sauce. And that goes for a lot of these effects. A lot of them are just put in there. I take like 5 seconds to change them and then it's done. Then it can't be changed. The same goes for the Stage 73, the electric piano, which I have a little bit of chorus on to make it a bit wider and to give it a bit of a wobbly feel. And a little bit of a decapitator on just to make it a bit more saturated, give it a tape feel. If you don't know tape feel, it's kind of old tape machines used to get pretty saturated in their way of recordings, especially kind of especially mechanical saturation, which I think is pretty cool, especially when you use it on electrical pianos. So for me, it gives it more of a 70s feel in the recording, which is what I'm going for, because I kind of wanted it to get kind of 70s psychedelical, which I think is cool. The same with Cymatic's Origin, which is kind of like a vintage plugin that gives it that kind of tape feel. This plugin is free, by the way, and it's pretty good. I don't use this a lot anymore. As I said, this beat is old. I made it in September last year. Well, that's not old, but yeah. I don't usually use this a lot anymore, but you can give it kind of like a vinyl feel, and you can give some movement, which is basically a bit of phasing, but kind of makes it detuned. Some saturation, of course, to get that tape saturation, and the chorus to give it that kind of wider feel. I'm going to say feel a lot because, yeah, this is just all feel. Number 4, I think this is the acoustic guitar, which I just got a load of effects on. I have some Devil Lock, which is just more distortion. Same with the decapitator. Same here. Like here, I've just done the master mix. Here, I've just played around with the whole master mix of the entire effect rack here, which is just a rack with a bunch of the Sound Toys plugins, which are amazing. As you can see, I use them a lot. I fucking love these things. They have such a good, clear sound, and they don't really fuck up what I want to do. It's so easy to just plug and play, and it doesn't really stop my creative process, which I really need. And then a Phase Mistress. I absolutely love phasers. You'll find that out in a bunch of my beats. I love phasers. It's that psychedelic feel again. I love it. Not much to say here. I just think I threw on a basic a pre-made preset here, and then the Pro R, which is this plugin right here. It's probably the one I use the most when it comes to effects. Like this reverb, I haven't found anything that really matches the quality of this reverb. The Valhalla Superverb, or whatever it's called, or Vintage Verb, it's close, but I can't get this kind of like pinpoint accuracy that I have right here. Plus the presets are amazing. So if you have the chance to spend money on FabFilter, it's really fucking expensive. Do it. It is worth it. It is worth it in the long run. Just threw on some basic EQing here. This is just to close. There's some parts of the guitar where when this thing is strumming, it doesn't slow down or speed up. So when, say, you're at the end of where you want the guitar to play, it's gonna play hard as fuck until the very end. So I just needed to close it off so it sounds not as abrupt, and a bit more like, yeah, I'm actually gonna stop playing the guitar now, instead of just it stopping and then you're kind of like, what the fuck. So that is just for that, just so it doesn't sound too mechanical, and whatever way you can't save it. Moving on, we have some other sounds here, which is a Prophet synth. It's a wah pad from the Prophet. Again, Arturia, amazing plugins. Playing the same chords. Pretty cool though, very spacious. Yeah. You know, you gotta, if you want to have 70s psychedelics, you gotta have some weird spacey pads, and that's exactly what this is filling in. As you can see, we have a lot more to go here. But this is moving into the pre-chorus right here. As you can see, here is when these, as you can see, this is where the guitar cutoff is starting. You can see it here in the automation. And you close off the guitar. So it's still playing, but you can see, you can hear it. It's more closed off, and I think that kind of helps in the anticipation of a chorus, especially when you open it up again. And here comes the drum loop. Now this drum loop is from a beat I made, I think 2 months before this. It's like a mix of Spitfire Labs and some, I don't even know if they're sampled off Tame Impala, but Tame Impala-ish sounds. All kind of compressed and whatnot into this. I'll see if I didn't throw in some mix on it too. Yeah, just a little bit of reverb, just to give it a bit of glue. If you have too dry of drums, I think they sound very out of place, especially if they don't have a lot of room. Which, if you don't know, when drums are recorded, they're of course recorded in a room, and the room is going to reflect on how the drums sound. If you have a super tight recorded room, it'll sound very in your face, which these drums do. But if you have something like this weird room right here, where it's kind of got weird corners and everything, it'll sound kind of weird and spacious, and have these kind of interesting reflections. And that's just, I'm trying to get that kind of feel with just a larger reverb on these drums, just to give it a bit more glue to the mix. So we don't really throw on a lot of reverb, but that's like really good if you want the drums to not sound too out of place, because that's really easy to do. Other than that, this chorus is really just the same chords, with a bit of, I think we're opening the cutoffs here too. I'll see what's happening here in this. Yeah, so this is another Jupiter plugin. As you can see here, I think we're opening the cutoff. Yeah, which opens the sound. It's pretty cool. And that's all I think we've automated here. If you want to do this in FL, here you can see I've opened it inside of the playing pattern, but what you do is just click on this and edit it, and then you go up here to Tool, Last Tweaked, and then you can just either create an automation, or you can record like this, notes in automation, and then you can just edit it live as you want. It's pretty cool. That's what I do. I usually just record because it's kind of cool to have a live feel of you playing around with the effects. So that's basically what I've done here, and then I can just edit it in this little thing right here. Other than that, the chorus really just has one more part, which I feel kind of makes this beat. It's a this thing right here. which is a lead I've made. I don't really know what this is even built off, but I feel like this kind of makes the beat. Such a gorgeous sound. I use it on a lot of beats, I'm not gonna lie. And I just think it kind of opens the track when, you know, it's been really mid-heavy in the mix with the EQs and stuff, and especially then when you open with the drums too, to get something that's in the higher register, just kind of opens it up. And then just a basic little synth bass here. Which is, again, it's the Jupiter. I think it's, yeah, it's this one. I'm guessing there's some distortion on this. No, it isn't. It's natural sound. And yeah, with that lead, it's just a lot of verb, making it huge, as big as possible, giving it a lot of stereo. I think I threw on some effects inside here too. These plugins have really good bass effects, so if you can use them, we use them well, because they have a lot of good feel to them, and you know me, feel is everything. So I love the additional effects that come with this. So I use them a lot, and basically just throwing some minimal effects after that. This isn't minimal, but you know, yeah. And that is basically the entirety of the first part. Oh, I forgot this little guy. This is, it kind of makes the pre-chorus though, now that I'm thinking about it. A pretty cool sound. That's how it originally sounds. Then again, here we've done the same thing as we did with the cutoff. We have, I think, edited the slide on it, which is a that doesn't all look like the slide. Yeah, so we open it with a cutoff, and then I'm guessing this is the slide. It looks kind of stupid, but I'm guessing this is the slide. If we go into the plugin. Yeah, you can see it with bending it here to give it that kind of falling feel, and that's pretty cool. Again, just some reverb, chorus, just to make it wide, and taking away some of those lows because they were pretty harsh. And that is mostly the first part of the beat right here. It just kind of goes in that arrangement. And so we get to the bridge. There are new chords here. So again, in the same scale, we're just using new chords here. And I really love this fourth one here. I don't know what these are. Again, when I'm putting down chords like this, I'm mostly just going off feel. Again, like I've been making music for 6 years almost now, and so I've kind of just learned what I like and what works. So I'm not really that good. I usually build a lot of my stuff off major and minor chords, and that's it. I can add some things in between here, but other than that, it comes a lot to feel, especially with leads and basses and all that stuff. That chord right there, So gorgeous. And again, we're closing off with the band frequencies here. Just so it doesn't become too abrupt when we're going into this. This is where that glitchy thing is. Again, it's probably from some drum kit. I don't know. Again, we're just playing around with the same sounds we've already used. This is me just playing live, off feel. I've quantized it, but other than that, I've tried to just keep it abrupt because I wanted this part kind of be leaving uninsured. I wanted this part to feel kind of like weird and kind of spacious and kind of dark. Not in scary, but more as in you're kind of tripping bad. And you're in this weird little middle ground where nothing really feels tangible or anything like that. It just feels off. But you still have that texture in the background that kind of reminds you that you're still in the song. And just a little bass to help, some momentum. Just really basic. Like you see, there's not much happening here, really. And then, love this part. So this is originally from another beat, which I didn't really know. I never really knew what to do with this pattern right here because it was kind of all over the place, and to put drums on it, I couldn't manage to put drums on it. Did I have a bad day? Who knows? So I was like, sure, I'll just throw this into the beat. I think it was originally 3 or 4 down. But yeah, this is... Oh. There you go. So there you can see again. It just goes like that. And this piano right here, amazing. This is Lab's piano. This plugin is free. I absolutely just... If there's anything you get out of this video, it's this plugin. It's so good. Please use it. It's absolutely amazing. I still use this. I don't know what I can say to get you to use it. Just get it. It's free. It's so good. The sound quality is amazing. You don't need to purchase piano VSTs when you have this. It's so good. Shout out to Spitfire because this plugin is amazing. Again, no effects on this. This is... I don't even know if I've added anything. No. Yeah, this is just clean sound. All I've done is change a little bit on the velocities just to make it not sound too mechanical. As you can hear, we're just adding basses on here. We're slowly building it up. Here again, we've added the stage piano. Just put in the chords. Just to give it a building feel, because that's what I wanted to. You know, I wanted to phase into that second part as smoothly as possible. And the way to build that is through using these sounds strategically. But not too much, you know? You want it to still feel like there's something you want it to feel like there's something coming, you know, that we're building up to something and not giving away too much too early. And it is art in that itself. So again, we're just building around these same chords right here. Again, using different sounds. And here we go. Now, I don't know what this one is doing. Not to tease you guys too much. You all know what's coming here. Oh, this just opening? I don't know. We even have a riser here, which is, I don't usually use risers, but here I think it's pretty, it adds a lot, and I'll show you. So here, we just try to make it simple, as quiet as possible, but you feel that riser. And there's opening up here in the mixing. And here we have just some rising lower. I think this is just from a random sine that I've just pitched down a ton. And the same with this. It's just some cinematic stuff I found off Splice, which is just to give it a bit more punch into that chorus, or whatever this is. It's really cool. I absolutely love that part. It's probably one of my favorite things I've ever done. Just that the flow I was in when I was making this, I couldn't believe that this was coming from my fingers. It's kind of like such a culmination of so many feelings and inspirations and things that, you know, you have that scratch in your head when you're making music and you make the song and you're like, this isn't really scratching that itch. It's kind of getting there, but it's not hitting the right spot. This hit the fucking spot. That when I made it, I was just like, it's finally happening. And that's just such a great feeling when making music, because a lot of the times this can feel like fucking shit. Trust me. To me, it can feel like really fucking shit. And when you hit that, the feeling of mastering and kind of getting exactly what you want, it's just such a good feeling. And that's what this was. This was a culmination of that feeling, and I'm so happy because it's so euphoric, just this switch of energy in the song. Now let's not get too lost in the sauce here. I just need to show you this riser right here, how important it is to create momentum, because I thought that this was kind of missing something. Yeah, it was cool with, of course, the fucking... But just listen how it sounds without the riser. Yeah, we're going off here. But where are we going? And you can hear with the riser. Okay. There's some tension in there. Like we're rising towards wherever this is going. Yeah, I just think that's really important. And now let's get into the patterns here. What is actually happening here? Now the reason I have a lot of distortion on this stage 73 piano is this part. You can see really simplistic chords. That's, I think what we started with was, what I started with was this. Just that. And then I built the drums off. Now, the drums here are different. We, again, have this Tame Impala inspired drum kit. And alone, that sounds fucking trash. I know. But this is kind of just texture to the drums. Where the drums come in is this. Here we have Labs Percussion, which, again, this is from Labs. Again, download this plugin. I don't need to say anything more. Download this plugin. It's amazing. Here we added a couple of kicks. That was not a kick. Okay, we did not hide kicks. Kicks are this. But yeah, this is... that's it, you know? Again, your drums can't be too complicated because then they're not played by a real person. These are barely played by a real person. I don't even know if anyone... I don't know how this would actually sound if someone tried to play this on drums, but I'm just hoping that it works because this is cool, right? I'll have a little bit just up on screen now. This is my main inspiration just in general, but this song too. I'll have just this song and then just in general, because this is the culmination, as I said, of a lot of inspiration. I think that's important, to use your inspiration to fuel what you make, because I think you're only as strong as your inspiration, and if you can't keep widening the spectrum of your inspiration, you'll be stuck using the same things, which of course you can make great things with the same things, but you won't really discover things that you don't know, because again, you don't know what you don't know. And I think a widening spectrum of inspiration where you always expand your music is a way to understand where you really find your place, because that's what this beat was for me. It was a new space of music, and I've been making these types of beats ever since. Trust me, I was not making beats like this before this beat. And that's important with music. Use that inspiration, fuel that energy. If you're listening to music that you think is cool but isn't inspiring you, change that up. It's of course cool to listen to music that you think is cool, but try to find something that you're like, wow, I want to make something like this, or wow, that line is so cool, let me write something around that. I think that's what made me create this beat, and I wanted to share that because that's such a powerful tool that I use, the inspiration that I have. Okay, enough of that. So here we have just the main chords here. It's pretty simple. Again, just some ambience. Again, we're using the same sounds here. I don't know what this is though. Of course. Again, the sound carries this beat. It drives it forward. This lead really just captures the entire spirit of the beat. Just and then with the piano too, just yeah, and I think that's it. We don't, there again, the only thing we really add here is these risers and these new tom fills, because these sounds I'm pretty sure were in that original drum loop which I used in the previous part of the song or the beat. So yeah, it really doesn't add too much sound wise, but sonically it's an entirely different thing, which I think is cool. I think that's the main achievement of this beat, is just you use the same sounds, but you can make so much within the context of a single scale. And then when we get to the second part here, we switch into a new pattern, which you can see, which is just, we're just holding, we're not doing this staccato kind of thing, we're just holding out the chords now. So this is kind of just the eclipse of the entire thing. This is where everything kind of culminates into one. Again, we're using a lot of the same sounds, but just playing them differently. And now we have some... You already know. Alright. Again, we're using just hi-hats here. Some crashes. again, just using the same drum fills and a little bit of a change in the patterns of the kicks and all that, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. One thing that always kind of is funny to me about this is that you have that, I don't even know if it's West Coast or if it's Memphis rap scene, but they always have this like psh, 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 and I always just like get reminded of that. I feel like I just get Blueface inside of my head when I think of this. I don't know. It's just me, and I'm weird, but yeah. But other than that, that's pretty simple, really. See, we just created a little bit of a drum bus right here, just so I can have a bit more control over the mix of the drums. Again, adding reverb. Other than that, just some knock. This is just to give it a little bit of saturation. This is on... Yeah, this is on the toms and the snares. Again, hi-hats. Even more reverb. Maybe a bit too much reverb now that I'm thinking about it, but hey... Again, this is such a clear depiction of me just mixing in the moment. And on paper, it's kind of messy and stupid, but I've never even thought of, wow, this mix is stupid. You know, looking at it, yeah, it looks stupid, but listening to it, I've already told you, this is my favorite beat, and it's mixed so in the moment, but then again, maybe that is what it needs. So I'm just trying to say this because I know a lot of people struggle with mixing and, you know, perfecting sound. My way of just doing things is just go through creative process, and the mix you get is the mix you want. And if you try to force it, it'll become just like anything else you force. You force it, and it can, of course, yeah, you can fucking nail it, and yeah, you can get extremely good at mixing. But then again, what if you lose creative flow over that mixing? So that's, I guess that's what I'm trying to say is creative flow over mixing. Because you can see here, I think it's cool. You know, it works. It works. You don't need to overmix this or overcompensate. You know, if you have a good idea and it works, just go for it. Don't worry. Getting into the clips. It's closing. Coming out the tunnel. And again, this is me just playing around with the chords here. Again, I think that's scenic for where we end this, because yeah, that's the end of the beat. I think what I want to really show about this beat is that, yeah, I mean, yeah, when you're looking at it like this, it looks complicated, I know, but it kind of isn't. This is honestly just a culmination of a bunch of ideas that I've patched together, and it creates just an entire new thing. And I think you guys can do that too. If you have beats that you think are kind of similar in vibe, or just in general you think could sound cool together, do it. I think there's a power in creating these extremely large arrangements and making it all fit. Because I think there's a lot of creative process you miss out on this patching process, which was here. This is the patching process, right? This is such a cool moment, but it really makes its own part of the song, and it kind of creates this anticipation of where we're going to, but it isn't out of place. And so I want to inspire you guys just to not necessarily think out of the box, but try to patch ideas together and don't give up on your ideas, especially with mixing, and showing that so much of this is just so in the moment, but it still works. So whether you're just starting out or you're an experienced producer or music maker just in general, go with what your inspiration is telling you and let all the other things come second. I think personally that's the most important thing that you can take away from this beat. But thank you guys for watching. It's been fun going through this. I'll see how much of a hassle it is fucking editing all my stupid moments, but yeah, thank you for watching. If you want more of these things, please let me know, because it was fun. I could do more of this, really. Thank you for watching. I've been Bokoven. Paint the sky. Have a nice day.
I could do a million things when I'm bored, like stare at a screen or record. I should do more.